Hello, Mark Jackson.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And so this is exciting. We have Kat in, it's just
Yeah.
called Kat, in TweetFest this year, and it is just the cutest, scariest short film of the lot. I don't want to give anything away, but I just really want people to see this. I actually made my partner watch it while I was doing the judging, while I was one of the judges on the panel, obviously. And I went, "You've got to watch this film. You've got to watch this film." And because we have little tiny children, like it was just really like, so yeah. Has it hit the festival circuit apart from ours?
It's been in a few. There's been a few lockdown themed festivals. It did quite well in a couple of festivals and things. Yeah, sending it out. Yeah, it fits a few niches. It's kind of horror.
Yeah, it does.
Smash lockdown,
doesn't it? Yeah.
Kind of a horror. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a horror.
Too bad.
So, okay, well, let's talk about that. How did you come up with it? This has got your daughter Annabelle in
Yes.
the leading actress in it.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with this idea? And without, I know you probably don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I definitely wanted to make. So I was making a few shorts during the lockdown when basically all work kind of disappeared for a while.
Yeah.
So I was keeping busy. So I did a few things. And, I've always, I thought, you look around, you see what you have available, and you kind of get inspiration from that. So what can I use of what I got? And of course, I've got my daughter who's like 1 or was 1 at the time. And I thought, because that's the sort of thing, if you were doing an actual short film, you wanted a 1-year-old, it's a real headache. You've got to get the parents and,
yes.
It costs loads of money. It's a big faff. So it's like, yeah, brilliant. Of course, I've got to do something with that. And of course, I wanted to get more footage of her anyway, just for prosperity. So, because, she's very small in that, and, they don't stay small for long. So it's like, I definitely want to get her in something, while
She's a good walker for 1. Goodness gracious.
Bad, yeah. Well, she was just before 2. So she's 2 now. She's 1 now. So I've got to make a film when she's 1. And you say, yeah, but does do this sort of thing later in life. She goes, oh, yeah, I started my first IMDb credit when I was 1. So
my daddy, the big directing star legend.
Yeah.
Do you know Mark Jackson?
Hopefully she has a proper job, but we'll see. We'll see how things go.
That's what I
but and I've done a lot of comedy stuff with the other sort of films I was doing. So yeah, I wanted to do something a bit different. And what else do we have? We have a basement here. So, and I thought I've always wanted, they creep me out. I was like, you've got to use that for a film. It's just, yeah. So baby, basement, there's a horror here, so I don't know, figure something out. So, and we have this toy cat, and I thought that looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Well, I love it, and I love the cat. So tell us a little bit more about filmmaking as a dad, because I think it's really topical right now. We talk a lot about females being the mums and the juggle. What about for you as the dad filmmaker?
Yes, it's a challenge. Yes, I do. Well, the lockdown probably made more of an effect on things, but just schedule it more. I do a lot more post-production now, I guess. But especially with the lockdown stuff anyway, most shoots have, a lot of things have disappeared and whatever sort of thing. So, actually, as they say, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person to do it. And it's kind of that sort of thing. You realize actually, you just become more efficient with your time and everything. And because, every day counts. Like she's in nursery today, and it's obviously costing me. So I've got to make sure I'm super productive today and working and doing a million other things and, lining up other things. That's it really. And, I obviously got my partner, so we juggle. We're both sort of in this media game. So, it's just that sort of juggle and working weekends and evenings and that sort of thing,
Absolutely.
Late last night and stuff. So, it's, but actually I kind of wish I did it much sooner. You don't miss anything. So we should all have kids much sooner in life. And,
we do worry, don't we? We worry about, everyone worries about that. And then you finally have them. And then you, like you said, you just become really time efficient. And suddenly the things I used to do in about 6 or 7 hours, boom, I knock it out of the park. Those urgent emails can all be managed in half an hour. And you think, what was I doing with all my time before?
Yeah. And you especially when they're young, they nap during the day. So you get this wonderful window of an hour or maybe 2 hours where you can just blitz everything. And so you're like, my God, and usually, if you didn't have kids or anything, you throw away the hours here and there. But when you got parents, suddenly like you are just, much more disciplined. I say you will actually get more work done, ironically.
Definitely. I call that the power hour because I still get those.
Yeah.
And that power hour is like my magic hour. I get a couple of and then I'm just off.
Yeah.
So let's get back onto your others, because I've seen you've got an extensive CV of short films and other work that you've done over the years. And like you said, a lot of comedy. So why comedy, and what's happening next for you in your career?
Well, why comedy? Don't know. Just seems to be the way things go. Do a mixed bag of stuff. I've sort of been in this game for a while, and I do a lot of techie stuff as well. I sort of work as a lighting cameraman and editor, and I do some effects stuff and graphics, and you're one-stop shop. I was self-taught, so I got into this game as sort of mini DV, and it all became desktop, and you could afford it yourself. So I kind of saw the tail end of working in big post-production places, and it all becoming possible to do on like a laptop and with small cameras and that sort of thing. So so I've got a lot of technical knowledge. So so I do a lot of techie stuff, but kind of make my own stuff on the side. So I've done some commercials and things like that, and the comedy stuff kind of feeds into that. But actually, comedy and horror are kind of two sides of the same coin, kind of thing. I think the most honest kind of genres, because they're the most sort of visceral, because you have to get a reaction. Like you judge a comedy by how much you laugh, and you judge a horror by how much you're terrified. And if it doesn't deliver, it's kind of binary. If it doesn't deliver on that, then it hasn't really succeeded. Unlike a drama, in which case, well, I suppose it was good, but it's hard to say. Well, comedy is either funny or not. Horror is either scary or not. So I kind of like them in that way. So I've done a few sort of little horror things I've done. But it's same sort of mechanics as well in terms of story setup and just the sort of techniques and everything, because as I say, you're getting a bigger sort of real visceral reaction. So those sort of things appeal to me. I like entertaining people anyway.
And you do it well. So are you planning, do you think you want to stay within the commercial space as well, in the short film space, or what would be the ideal goal for you as a filmmaker long term?
Well, I've done I'd like to do more long form stuff. I have done sort of mini like super low budget features. I've done all that, and it was great fun and all that, but you can't really earn a living from these sort of things. So I see myself I do a lot of the commercial stuff, and I'm editing some sort of comedy stuff for telly. So I think I'm going to keep doing that, and obviously I need with the kid and everything, you've got to be all sensible and reasonable and just have steady income and this kind of thing. So I'm going to carry on doing that for as long as. But I'm working on my own stuff all the time, and I really do want to do another like feature, even though I kind of don't think it's possible to make money with these things. But so I got lots of low budget ideas of these sort of things, but it'd be more of a passion project. I think I'll do that next. But I like doing stuff, short form stuff online. I just like short films, and I'd rather get like 1 million views on YouTube than like win some big award in a festival, to be honest. Because I think it's more honest, because it's kind of, especially, if you're like me and you don't really publicize your stuff properly, when you do get a lot of people viewing it, it must be good, genuinely good.
Yeah.
Because people, there's no one famous in it and hasn't got nudity or whatever people are going to click on in a thumbnail. And if it hasn't got any of that and it's still getting a big views, then it must be good.
Exactly. Well, I think Cat must be good because it's in TweetFest. So, it's,
well, there you go.
Great.
So that's cool.
Yeah. And you never know, you could always make a horror feature with Annabelle as she gets older. And
I'm definitely going to rope her in into other films. I'm going to do my best to discourage her to be in this business because it's awful. But secretly, she's inevitably going to end up being in like dozens of films. But
you're reminding me of About a Boy. Is it About a Boy? Oh no, what's the film that went that? Oh gosh, I can't believe.
Yes, I know the one. Yes, they filmed over
Boyhood.
Yeah, Boyhood. Yeah, Boyhood. Yeah,
where they filmed. Maybe
I could start that.
There you go. Yeah,
not a bad idea.
Incredible.
Yeah, my beard get longer in it.
So tell us, who inspires you the most as a filmmaker, do you think, or who has inspired you up until this point?
I tend to get more inspiration from not films. I try not to like look at films really. I try and like read books these days. Like really old books. I just think everyone's looking at the same stuff and their stuff all looks the same.
Yeah.
So, I try not to watch too much stuff now. I just want to listen to like I'm just going through all the classic novels now and just like working through all the classics. Like I've never read like Paradise Lost or anything like that. It's just like I'm just going to work my way through all these like interesting things and just have a more rounded and just history stuff. So I'm kind of into sorts of geeky stuff. But so yeah, in terms of films though, probably just YouTubers. People who I'll tell you who I like. Is that chap? And I don't know his name. Of course I won't because we're filming this. So suddenly the memory will go and I'll forget everyone's name. But he did Lights Out, which is a short horror that did really well online. And then he made it into a feature. And now he did Shazam. He directed that. He also did Annabelle, which is funny because my daughter's called Annabelle.
Yes.
Or Annabella or whatever they call it. But so yeah, he does a lot of YouTube. So he does all these little films around his house with like his wife on a little black magic camera. And they get millions of views. But then he goes off and does Hollywood big ass movies. And it's kind of like, that would be good. I like that. I like them. I'll always make little things with DSLRs or whatever, because I love that. And then it'd be great. I'd love to do the big stuff.
And then you can pop off and make your Hollywood and then come back.
So actually probably, I don't watch too many of his films because he's deep into the horror world. And I think I'm not actually a big fan of watching much horror, but although I do kind of like making it. But so yeah, I think what he does is kind of interesting.
No, that's cool. I'll have to actually have a look at that short as well. Yeah, because I'm a massive horror fan, but then like a horror like Cat, I like that kind of horror. So
yeah, same here. Like I like The Shining because it's not scary. I always liked it because of that. It was like I like it because it's not actually terrifying. It's just weird.
I confess I only just saw it. I was invited to a podcast where I had to watch it and then talk about it on the podcast. So you had to watch a movie you had never seen. It's taken me all that time to watch it and I found it terrifying. So I think that's funny that you're like, that's not really scary.
Well, so it gets in your head more. It doesn't play the cheap thrills. There's scenes in it which I think there's this famous set. Spielberg visited the set and he said, there's a scene with the typewriter. And he's like, you should have it jump out and you'll make this much more money because it would be such a big thrill. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. Because he wanted to, but it kind of lingers with you. I mean, it's like a week later, you're still thinking about some of the things you see in that film. So it kind of gets in
the snow scene
a bit more.
For me was the lingering thing. The typewriter definitely, and then the snow, the scene with the sun in the snow. I could not get that out of my mind. And anyway, that's genius filmmaking and genius horror.
Yeah. I'd say Kubrick is probably he's probably the big one for me. He is the man.
Well, I'm so excited that people are going to see Cat next week in TweetFest.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Really cool. Why do I say next week? It's this week. It's literally happening.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to start.
Right.
Not next week. They're going to see it this week. Everyone can catch it over on. They can find the link over at Fest Home. We're going to be watching to see what you come up with next. So I'm excited for your comedy stuff and your other things. And one last comment, is can you tell us, for the budding filmmakers out there, what would be your one piece of advice to your younger self?
Well, just to keep making stuff, and do it all, shoot, edit, act if you have to, which I've occasionally had to do, and just, keep making stuff and make bad stuff. And if you do something successful, I think, don't just copy it, or, if you have success in one area, don't just keep doing that. Just keep making stuff and put it in front of audiences in the real world, and just put it online, put it in front of people. And when you watch stuff next to people, you can feel it if they like it or not. And that is the most honest way. Like if they start twitching or just start looking around, then, but if they, or actually show it to people who don't like films, don't show it to other filmmakers, they're the worst audience. Show it to non-filmmakers and they'll be the most honest, because if they really watch it and laugh or react, then you're getting a real honest reaction, and they will be more honest in their feedback and won't try and talk to you about lenses and cameras and all the techie stuff or all the stuff that really isn't that important. So that would be
excellent advice. Super advice.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us as part of our TweetFest filmmaker interviews, and I hope everyone loves Cat as much as I did. And we will we'll hopefully see you for some gala drinks next year, if we get, or this
Yeah.
year, or whenever we can get everybody who's part of
God.
official selection actually
Yes.
into a pub to have a drink.
Yes, I look forward to it. I hope so.
Thanks
Soon.
for joining
Thank
us
you.
today, Mark.
Thank you. Cheers.